TVs tend to be the common choice when it comes to wanting a big statement piece of tech for your bedroom. But what if something small like this can give you the same experience while keeping your wall empty and clean? Hi, I'm Liessshy, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this projector. For full disclosure, I was sent this projector from XGIMI for visiting their store in Melbourne Docklands. So if you do want to see one in person before you buy, that is the place to go. And I thought it would be good to do a mini review on my experience with this because I have never used a projector before, and that is because I just didn't really like them. When you have an awesome TV, it's very hard to settle for something of lesser quality. I personally have an 8K Neo QLED Samsung TV, so why would I want to settle for something that's only full HD and nowhere near as bright? Before someone says I'm bragging about having an 8K TV and there's no 8K content around. We bought this because it was $2,500 brand new, down from $5,500. It's kind of stupid not to do that, and we needed a mini LED at the time, not an OLED, because our lounge room was super bright with natural light. That is why I have an 8K TV. Truly though, the picture quality on the XGIMI Mogo 2 Pro is actually very good, to my surprise. But before we get into my thoughts about this projector, let's just go over the specs. The XGIMI Mogo 2 Pro is a portable projector that you can use anywhere as long as you have it connected to power, as it's not a battery powered projector. Adding to this though, I would love to see this with a battery option. A battery projector to me is the perfect travel companion. And for those scenarios, such as like lying in your bath and wanting to watch something on the roof of your bathroom or on the wall in front of you, I don't want to have this near any kind of power with cables because obviously the chances of it getting wet is pretty high. But if you're careful, I think that could be a really cool experience. With 400 nits of brightness and a full HD image, it brings enough oomph to the image in the dark space like a bedroom. It has two 8-watt speakers and is compatible with Dolby Audio, which I think is pretty epic for something as small as this. It also has a viewing range from 40 inches all the way to 200 inches, so it really is perfect for different kinds of environments and spaces. It has a separate remote control to navigate, and on the back has a USB input, a HDMI input, and a headphone port, as well as the USB-C power input. So if you wanted to, you could connect this to a laptop or a game console. So where and how do I use this projector? I personally have it on my bedside table, which is to my right-hand side, and I have it facing the wall in front of me. Even though it is off to the side, it still positions itself with a straight-on image, and this is because of the auto keystone feature. Being able to automatically manipulate the positioning to get the image front on and straight means you can place Mogo 2 Pro anywhere around you and still enjoy the viewing angle and experience. So it is built with Android TV, which is great. So all your apps are on there, except for Netflix. Netflix was really weird and required a different kind of download with instructions in the box. Honestly, it kind of felt like a weird bootleg Netflix. I'll get more into detail on that soon, but yeah, that was really weird. It also has the added benefit of a microphone built into the controller for Google Assistant, as well as a Chromecast built in, but I expect this with every kind of audio-visual device these days. It's kind of just a given, hey? I personally tend to watch a lot of YouTube in bed, so this has been a really great addition for me. I think the sound and the speakers in this projector are actually very good, especially for its size, because it does create an immersive experience, especially in a smaller room. My bedroom's not huge, so I think it is the perfect amount of volume. Can get quite loud, obviously I have to turn it down so I don't annoy other people, but I really do enjoy the listening experience with this. So the image quality, I actually really like it. I never thought I could go back to watching something in full HD, especially on a big scale screen. But for a projector, especially of this size, like it just kind of makes sense. And it works really well. Even though it's only 400 nits of brightness, I think that's still pretty good for this. When you're using it in a darker environment, such as a bedroom, you're going to have the blinds closed. It's going to be quite dark, so it does help brighten the image even more, or at least make it appear brighter. It also really has a good color presence too. Like things look clear. It gives a lot of depth and realism. It's pretty good. I really do think this is a great piece of technology for your bedroom. or tech anywhere really, but I know this will get a lot of use for me in the bedroom. And I feel like a lot of customers will have that same experience too because of how small it is. It's just easy to plug and play. If you have a blank wall opposite your bed, it's the perfect setup. And it also saves you from having to go out and buy a TV, get it wall mounted and get a soundbar, especially if you're like me and cannot settle for TV speakers. That does tend to become quite expensive. So for a full solution in one little cube, I think it's a great option. So now the downsides. Like I said before with Netflix, it felt like a weird bootleg app. I couldn't even log into my account. It just wouldn't let me and kept erroring out with some weird error. So I gave up on that. It was really disappointing.
And this is new. This didn't happen previously. I was able to somehow swap it to what looks like the normal version of Netflix. And now I think we're on.
The other issue I have, it's a little bit of an issue, but it can get quite hot. So on my bedside table, I try not to have anything behind the vents because I would want it to keep flowing with air and pushing out that hot air without burning anything around it. And I get it. It's a small little cube. If you're going to use this for hours, which look, I tend to do, it's going to get quite hot. But I would like to see an improvement in regards to the heat dissipation, or at least the way the cooling works, because it just feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel great. I haven't had any issues with it overheating, but it does get quite hot when you put your hand behind the device. So yeah, hopefully it's not a problem with even longer term use, but I do tend to sit there for hours watching or playing games. So yeah. That's my other little tidbit. Overall though, I think it is a great piece of tech for the bedroom, like I said before. And if you aren't wanting to get a TV, but do want something to enjoy watching content while you're in bed, a projector is definitely the way to go. Especially ones like these. They are small, they are compact, they just don't take up space. You don't need to install a screen if you don't want to. To be honest, I thought about installing one at the other end of this studio because I just don't have a blank wall for it. And I think it'd be really cool to use it in here too. But when you buy something like this, you are set with everything you need as long as you have a blank wall. Thank you again to XGIMI for sending this over. It really has been a great addition to my bedroom.